Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, you know, I'm a huge die-hard Wolverine fan, and I've said this on my Facebook Lives. When I first heard the rumors of a possible Wolverine versus Hawk movie, which I am super stoked about, and now I watched Comic Book Cast, and from what I heard from them, was that they want Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Now, I am super stoked about this. I want this to happen, but here's what I would like for them to do. This is just my idea. This is my suggestion. What I would want them and would like them to do is to make it where the events of Days of Future Past happened, but the death of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine isn't that far away. You know, kind of like bridging the gap between what happened in those 6 years, because here's what happens in Days of Future Past happens in the year 2023. Avengers Endgame happens in the year 2018 to 2023. Now, this is a good way to combine both the aftermath of Endgame and the events and the aftermath of the events of Days of Future Past, where Wolverine did save the mutant population and did save the mutant world, or the mutant kind, by time traveling back to 1973. And then that way you don't really have to necessarily change as much as you want, because the Eternals are still coming. You still got the Eternals movie that's coming out. Plus, Kevin Feige can still tweak upon the mistakes that Fox made with the whole X-Men franchise, and they can still bust out the second Dark Phoenix saga, even though it didn't do much. It made some profit, but let's be real. They could just still do the movie, finish the Dark Phoenix saga, and we can never talk or discuss it ever again, because at this point, the diehard X-Men fans are just like, at that point where something needs to be done. I'm glad that Disney bought Fox, but I don't want them to change and do a hard reboot. Do like a soft reboot, because that way you can still add Deadpool, you can still add Wolverine within the confines of a soft reboot. But what needs a hard reboot is the Fantastic Four. But I'm going to say the Fantastic Four reboot is for, like, the end of Phase 4 because everybody knows how Kevin Feige does the phases. 2 years for the beginning of phases and then the end of phase. And then he comes out and does the final. He does the end of phases. What's coming at the end of the phases, which is a good idea and hasn't steered us wrong. I mean, yeah, there were some stumbles, but with every franchise, with every movie, with every universe, with a universe building thing that Kevin Feige and Jeff Loeb have done so far, they haven't disappointed us so far. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Frickin' Sony comes in and then they introduce Venom and Morbius into the MCU, which, hey, I'm down for. I mean, Venom 2? Hell yeah. Let's get that. I kind of liked Venom 1, the first Venom. Kind of want to see what happens with Venom 2. Even though Woody Harrelson is playing Carnage and that wig is just freaking to die for. It's like hilarious in a like to die for kind of way. I kind of want to see what happens with Woody Harrelson's Carnage persona, because he was arrested. I don't know what they're gonna I don't know how they're gonna tweak his backstory, but it is a Carnage origin story because why not? Plus the whole Sony's developing a live action Spider-Verse movie, which sounds interesting, and you don't have to change that much. You just have to put just give us what might have been, and then 2 years, and then give us a little more about what happened within those 6 year within that 6 year time gap for Wolverine, which is a good idea. And when he dies, cause if you think about it, it's a good idea to explore what happens within that 6 year time gap. And to be honest, within that 6 year time gap, we don't know what happened. We don't know how he wound up as a limo driver. We don't know what events made him become a limo driver within the first Old Man Logan comic book movie. And that could be a interesting way of saying, oh, this is what happens. This is what leads to Wolverine becoming a limo driver. This is what becomes this is how Wolverine will eventually die in the end of Logan. Now, I am a huge Wolverine fan. I liked the first Wolverine. I loved the second one. I cried at the end of Logan every single time. And to be honest, it's a good way to get that Hugh Jackman, that one Hugh Jackman role that Hugh Jackman has said that he always wanted to do he always wanted to interact with the MCU, the Disney MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for those who don't know. But anyways, for that to happen, to incorporate the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU, call it what you will, call it what you want, is to bridge the gap between the main MCU / Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Fox X-Men franchise. It's within, because Days of Future Past was both combining the new X-Men actors with the old OG original X-Men actors and people who carry those personas, except for Wolverine. Except for Hugh Jackman, because he's been doing frickin' Wolverine for about 20 to 19, 18, 17 years before his Logan persona died. And you can, after you do that, like, bridge give us that, like, what might have happened within those 6-year time gap. Within that 6-year time gap, you can explore, you can retell the frickin' Wolverine story from within the re-release. With Logan, with X-Men Origins, Wolverine, then do X-Men 1, then do X-Men 2, X-Men 3, Last Stand, then do the Wolverine, then do Days of Future Past, or X-Men First Class, X-Men Origins, because he does have a cameo, and then, yeah, I don't know how, I don't have the specific idea of how how you can do the re-release, but just tell the origin, the complete story of Wolverine, and then shoehorn Wolverine versus Hulk, the live action version of Wolverine versus Hulk, after Days of Future Past, so that way it makes his death more meaningful and more heartfelt in a way, because you can still do the whole Hulk movie, and then you can do the whole Hulk thing. You can re-release all the Avengers, the Thor. You can re-release the complete storyline of Hawk with the 2003 Hawk movie, the '08 soft reboot slash sequel version of the Hawk, which is the Incredible Hulk, and then do the Avengers 1, Avengers 2, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers 3, all that, and 4. And because they all take place in the same time frame anyways, right? Early 2000s, and whatnot. Plus, you can re-edit the freaking. Plus, you can re-edit X-Men Origins, the Wolverine, and have Steve Rogers just do a short cameo in the beginning of the whole X-Men Origins Wolverine montage, where you see Wolverine and Sabretooth fighting in the wars, and from all the wars that he's been a part of since the Civil War, the first Civil War, not the whole not the whole. Anyways, even though that is cool, you can still edit that in and have Steve Rogers, aka Chris Evans, be Captain America for that cameo, and you can edit that whole scene in to kind of like say, oh, the X-Men have always been in there, but we just didn't want to let them know. We just kind of wanted to do the Avengers first, and then you can say, yeah, this is what happened, but this is what we got. The Avengers do their own thing, the X-Men do their own thing. That's how it happened. And we just never noticed because we were too wrapped up into wanting the X-Men and the Avengers together and interact. And now that they are back home, that's how you do it. That's how you bring the X-Men in with the Eternals. Because, the Eternals are coming. And that is what I would want to happen. That's what I would like to happen. Where Wolverine, Sabretooth are in World War II, and then you see an edited version of an edited re-release / cameo of Captain America with Wolverine and Sabretooth, because that would be freaking awesome. Just edit and re-release Captain America in with X-Men Origins, the Wolverine, because that would make it 10 times better, and people will go batshit crazy for that movie, and the re-release, and the edited version, and the new edited version of X-Men Origins, because you have the best of both worlds. You have the X-Men and you have the Avengers. And then you don't have to do that much with it. You don't have to do that much with the X-Men. You don't have to do that much with the Avengers or Captain America. All you have to do is edit some parts, or just edit one part. Just edit the montage of Wolverine in wars with Sabretooth and Liam Shriver's Sabretooth, and then say, yeah. And because that would be awesome. One, that would be awesome. Two, it doesn't have to be that hard to reboot everything, or just do a hard frickin' reboot. And then by the end of Logan, or when you do Wolverine vs. the Hulk, or Wolverine vs. Hulk, make it to the point where the events of Wolverine did happen, or the events of X-Men Days of Future Past did happen, and the events of Endgame / Infinity War does still happen, or happened, and that way, it's not that far away, but it wasn't that far, it wasn't that long ago, maybe like a year, maybe two, because the events of the storyline of Logan was, when he first died, was 2029. The events of Days of Future Past was 2023. See, it kind of benefits both Hugh Jackman and Mark Ruffalo's The Hulk, or The Incredible Hulk, where he is still the Hulk, but he is still also Bruce Banner. See, you don't have to go full Professor Hulk. Just give us a normal Hulk and the Wolverine thing. A live action version, not the animated version, because I love the animated version. But I would want to see a live action version where Days of Future Past and the events of Endgame / Infinity War did still happen, but Hugh Jackman's Wolverine's death is not that far off. Kind of like a inspirational aspect of, like, just I don't know how to correctly say this, but more like, yeah, not bad at all. I mean, would I love to see Hugh Jackman take up the mantle again as Wolverine? Hell yes. Would I love to see the actual suit? Hell yes. Give us that live action suit that we were denied in at the end of the Wolverine. And That way we can still get that live action suit of Wolverine. And still get that nice die-hard Hulk versus Wolverine battle that both the Wolverine die-hard fans and the die-hard Hulk fans want. And kind of we've been yeah. Anyways, that's just my idea. Don't know if that's the best case scenario, but that's just my idea. And heck, for the hell of it, why not just do a cameo, why not do a end credit scene of what might have happened after Hulk and Wolverine fought it out, duke it out, and let's see where they have gone and how Wolverine became a limo driver in Logan, and you can still do the whole Hulk thing inside the end credit scene. Maybe a mid-credit scene? Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. That's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and if you want to comment your thoughts. And if you want this to happen, if you like Wolverine, if you like Hulk, let me know in the comments, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all, and Snapchat, same name, Kevin Madall, for everything. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.